Opie's boyfriend keeps loyalty testing her by sending his friends to seduce her. Trigger warning. Manipulation, paranoia, obsessive behavior. Been with Jake about a year and a half. Everything was fine until 4 months ago. Started at a barbecue. I'm talking to this guy, normal conversation, and he starts getting really flirty, touching my arm, the whole thing. I shut it down and told Jake later, thinking he'd be pissed. Instead, he gets this smug look and goes, "Well, at least I know you passed." What the fuck? He asked him to flirt with me, to test my loyalty. Said his ex cheated on him and he needed to know he could trust me. If I had nothing to hide, I shouldn't be upset. Part of me got it. I've been cheated on too. So I told him it was fucked up, but I understood. And he promised he'd never do it again, except it kept happening. 3 weeks later, we're at a bar, and the bartender, who's Jake's friend from high school, starts offering me free drinks and asking for my number right in front of Jake, who's pretending to be on his phone. I recognized at that time, just got up and left. Jake followed me out, acting confused, and I said I knew, and he just shrugged. You passed again, though. Then his gym buddy, his fucking cousin at Thanksgiving, some guy at Target Jake paid to approach me in the pasta aisle with this whole script about gluten-free options. After Target, I was so pissed, I started flirting back with the next one. Jake's friend Derek at a Christmas party let him put his hand on my waist, laughed too hard at his jokes. Wanted Jake to see how it felt. Derek looked uncomfortable as hell, which makes me think maybe Jake didn't actually send that one. Jake didn't say anything, but next morning he went through my phone while I was in the shower. Huge fight. He said I'd been acting different. I said, yeah, I'm hiding the fact that I fucking hate you right now. He cried, said his anxiety's so bad he can't sleep, loves me too much to lose me. Said he'd stop for real. I told him he needed therapy. Last night we went to dinner and the waiter was super attentive, complimenting my dress, asking about my work, leaning over to pour water. I had this sinking feeling but also kind of liked the attention. It's been months of this shit. When he brought the check, there was a napkin with a phone number tucked under the receipt. Jake immediately grabbed it and his face went red. Stood up and started yelling at the waiter, called him a disrespectful piece of shit. Voice so loud the whole restaurant went quiet. Waiter looked genuinely terrified. Manager came over. Jake made this huge scene. We got banned. Manager told us to leave and not come back. In the car, I asked if he'd set that one up too, and he swore he didn't. Swore on his mom's life it was real, said he was proud of me for not engaging. This morning I found a Venmo payment on his phone while he was in the shower. $50 to someone with the note, "Thanks, man." Looked up the account on Instagram and it's the fucking waiter. So he set it up, got genuinely mad, got us kicked out of a restaurant I actually really liked, possibly got that guy fired, all to test me. Again, took a screenshot and sent it to myself. Haven't said anything yet. Been sitting here looking at this payment for 2 hours. Coffee went cold. My sister says dump him immediately, but my roommate Chelsea thinks maybe he has severe OCD or something and needs help. Chelsea also said I shouldn't have flirted with Derek and I'm participating in the drama, which pissed me off. Went through the rest of his Venmo. He's paid like 6 different people in the last 4 months. Amounts between $30 to $75. Timing lines up. I don't even know what I'm asking. Relevant comments. User 1 comment, the pasta aisle. What? Between the Barilla and the DiCecco, he's got a man ready with pickup lines about gluten. This is deranged. Ups replied, it was by the gluten-free section. Yeah, guy had this whole thing about celiac disease. User 2, comment, wait, you went through his phone to find the Venmo? So he goes through your phone, and that's controlling, but you do it, and that's justified? OP's replied, he left it unlocked on the counter. I wasn't snooping. User 2 replied, you literally said you went through the rest of his Venmo. That's snooping, babe. User 3, comment, how many friends does this man have that he can keep recruiting people? Also the cousin thing? I need more information because what the fuck? Ops replied, his cousin came up to me at Thanksgiving and asked if I wanted to see his new truck and Jake was watching from the kitchen window. Cousin seemed really uncomfortable, like Jake made him do it. User 4, comment, you both suck. He sucks more, but you also suck. Break up and work on yourself. Update, I tested him back and he put his hands on me. January 3rd, 2025. 5 days later. Didn't think I'd be back this fast. Read the comments. Yeah, I know some of you think I'm also being shitty, and maybe you're right, but I needed to know if this was actually about loyalty or control. Asked my friend Vanessa if she'd help me. She thought it was a terrible idea, but agreed because she's seen how stressed I've been. We all went out to a bar Friday. Told Jake Vanessa was meeting us. She showed up in this tight red dress, tits fully out, and started talking to Jake. I went to the bathroom and watched from the hallway. She was laughing at his jokes, touching his shoulder, playing with her hair. He was eating it up, smiling so big, leaning in close, bought her a drink. I watched for 15 minutes and he didn't mention me once, didn't look around for me, nothing. Walked over and just stood there waiting for him to notice. When he finally looked up, he didn't even seem embarrassed. Smiled and said, babe, this is Vanessa. She works in marketing. Vanessa looked at me like, oh shit. I said, so did I pass? And his face changed completely. He grabbed my arm hard, fingers dug in, and pulled me outside. Started screaming at me in the parking lot, calling me a manipulative bitch, said I'd humiliated him, that what I did was completely different because he was doing it out of love and I was doing it to hurt him. Vanessa came out and told him to let go, and he shoved her. Not hard, but enough that she stumbled back into a car and her shoe came off. Some guy smoking nearby started walking over, and Jake got in his car and peeled out. Stayed at Vanessa's that night. He sent like 40 texts, half apologizing and half saying I deserved it for playing games. One said, "You have no idea how much you just hurt me." Another said, "I can't believe you'd stoop this low after everything I've done for you." Next day, he showed up at my apartment at 7 a.m. with flowers from Walgreens still in plastic wrapping and this long letter on notebook paper. 4 pages front and back. Said we both messed up and need to communicate better. He's willing to forgive me if I'm willing to forgive him. Relationships take work. Told him through the door we're done. He didn't believe me at first, said I was being dramatic, then started crying and begging. Then got mad again and said I'd wasted a year and a half of his life. I'd never find someone who loved me as much as he did. Chelsea threatened to call the cops and he finally left, but he took the flowers with him, which was weird. Yesterday, I got a message on Instagram from a girl named Emily. She said she dated Jake 2 years ago and saw some post I'd made in a relationship advice group and recognized the behavior. He did the exact same thing to her. The tests, the friends, the paranoia. She said it got so bad he started accusing her of cheating even when she passed his tests, like she'd make eye contact with a waiter and he'd say she was eye-fucking him. She finally left after he grabbed her phone at a family dinner and went through her messages in front of everyone, her parents and grandparents just sitting there. She also said he cheated on her, multiple times, with girls from his gym, so he was cheating the whole fucking time and testing me. Sent me screenshots of texts from when they dated, and it's word for word the same shit. You're the only person who understands me. My anxiety is so bad without you. I just love you too much. I asked Jake about Emily over text, and he said she was a crazy stalker ex. I shouldn't believe anything she says. But you could tell he was panicking. Lots of typos, sent like 5 messages in a row, staying at Vanessa's, blocked him on everything. He keeps driving by my apartment, though. Chelsea says his car was parked outside for 3 hours yesterday. My arm has bruises on it. 4 finger-shaped marks. Took pictures. Relevant comments. User 5, comment. Willing to forgive you. I'm going to lose my mind. You did exactly what he'd been doing for months, and suddenly it's unforgivable? Also, he took the flowers back? OP's replied, yeah, he picked them up and took them with him. I watched from the window. User 6, comment. You both set each other up and you're shocked it went badly? I mean, he shouldn't have grabbed you, but you literally orchestrated this whole thing. What did you think would happen? OP's replied, I didn't think he'd put his hands on me. User 6 replied, that's fair, I'm just saying you both sound exhausting. User 7, comment, Emily is a real one for reaching out. This man has a whole pattern. I guarantee there's more girls. Ops replied, she said she tried to warn his next girlfriend after her, but the girl didn't believe her. Update, he catfished me for 3 months and his mom thinks I deserved it. March 22nd, 2025, 2.5 months later. I wasn't going to post again, but people keep DMing, asking if I'm okay, and something happened that I can't even process. After I blocked Jake, I started using apps again in late January. Nothing serious, just wanted to feel normal. Matched with this guy on Bumble. His profile had 3 blurry photos, one in sunglasses at the beach, mirror selfie where you couldn't see his face, one with a dog. Seemed normal. Bio said he worked in it and liked hiking. Started texting, and he was so easy to talk to. Really supportive about my ex, said his ex was also controlling. Texted every day for 6 weeks, sometimes until 2 or 3 a.m. Always had excuses for why we couldn't meet up or video chat. Phone camera broken, working crazy overtime, grandma was sick. I believed him because I wasn't in a rush anyway. Felt safer to just text for a while. Also, fuck it. I'll admit I was texting other guys too. Nothing serious, but I was talking to like 3 people and he was my favorite. One of the other guys I met up with for drinks and we hooked up in his car, which whatever, I was single. Last week, he finally said he could meet for coffee. His schedule cleared up. We picked a place near my work. I showed up and waited 20 minutes. He texted saying he was running late, Uber stuck in traffic. Then said he was outside but didn't see me, asked what I was wearing. I was typing that I had on a green jacket when I looked up and saw Jake standing across the street, staring directly at me. My stomach dropped. Thought maybe it was a coincidence, but then I texted, are you here or not? And I watched Jake look down at his phone, watched him type, watched my phone buzz. Yeah, I'm here, by the blue Honda. There was no blue Honda. Jake was standing next to a white truck. I just stared at him and he stared back and then his face changed like he realized I knew. Started walking toward me and I ran back inside and told the barista my ex was outside, call the cops. She did, but Jake left before they got there. Gave the cops screenshots, showed them the fake profile and texts. They took a report, but one said catfishing isn't technically illegal in my state unless it involves money or identity fraud. Said I could maybe file for harassment, but it probably wouldn't go anywhere unless Jake violated a restraining order. I don't have a restraining order. The hearing got postponed twice, and my lawyer said unless he actually threatens me or shows up at my house again, we might not have enough. Went through all the messages after, and I feel so fucking stupid. He'd asked so many specific questions. Where I was living, if I was still at Vanessa's or back at my apartment, who I was hanging out with, if I was talking to other guys, how many, what they were like. Told him everything because I thought he was a stranger who actually cared. There was this one message where I told him about the guy the first hooked up with, and he said, "You deserve to have fun, don't feel guilty." And now I'm wondering if Jake was just collecting information or if he actually got off on hearing about it. Emily said he did something similar to her. Created a fake Instagram pretending to be a girl from her college and DM'd her trying to get information about who she was dating after they broke up. Chelsea finally admitted she never liked him from the beginning. Said she didn't say anything because I seemed happy at first, but she always thought he was too intense. Vanessa feels guilty about the bar thing, even though I told her it's not her fault. She said she should have refused to help me because it escalated everything. Filed for the restraining order again yesterday with this new information. Hearing in 3 weeks. Jake's mom called me this morning from his phone. Didn't identify herself at first, just started talking. Said Jake's in therapy now, twice a week, really working on himself, and I should give him another chance because he's always loved too hard, and he's a good boy who made mistakes. I told her he catfished me for 3 months, and she goes, "Well, honey, you were talking to other men on those apps. What did you expect him to do? Just let you go?" Hung up on her. The fake profile is deleted now, but I keep checking to see if he's made new ones. Reverse image search the dog photo, and it's from some random blog about golden retrievers. My sister thinks I should move, but I can't afford to break my lease. Vanessa said I can stay with her as long as I need, but her boyfriend is starting to get annoyed, I can tell. Haven't been back to my place in 4 days. Chelsea texted this morning that there was a package on the doorstep addressed to me. No return address. She didn't open it. That's the end of this absolute trash fire. Thanks for sticking around. Hope I didn't waste your time. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree with the roommate that OP brought this on herself by playing along, or does Jack straight up belong in a psych ward? If you're down for more stories like this, hit that follow button or at least drop a like so I know people actually give a damn. Later, guys.